first evaluator on stage.
Actually, he started with the example of inflatable India. That was very teaching, and also we were able to recollect the ad of Amitabh Bachchan. Then he told us about what happened when VIP person visited the temple. He had to wait for more time. Then he used words like full of fragrance, full of agarbatti when he entered the temple. Then he compared Talkavadi with Shimla by saying as cool as Shimla, the climate is as cool as Shimla. Then the message was also to, if you want to come out of stress, you must visit different places. So that one I felt. Then his body language was good. He could have disturbed more about nature and young age he reached.
And the best part?
Best part I think was the message.
And fellow speakers. So I'm evaluating the speech of Ravi today. What went well was that he started a speech with a story which kind of generated some curiosity among the audience, so that was good. It basically got the attention of the audience. His vocabulary that he used in the speech also was quite rich. He used a lot of phrases like money and power, victim of your circumstances, master of your destiny, mental health, physical health, etc. So the speech had a lot of rich vocabulary. His voice was pretty clear. Both the speech delivery and the body language was quite good. And he kind of almost did not use his paper there. So it's almost like he spoke quite fluently. Some of the suggestions that I have was, it's mainly to do with the content. Basically is like, I would probably prefer when you start speeches to be a little more clear about what you're talking, because only at the end when you said health is a real wealth of life, I understood that you're going to talk about the importance of health, because it started with something, some comment saying you're not well, and then about pancreas, and then it ended up somewhere else. We talked about physical health, mental health, so only at the end, even a single line like, I'm going to talk about the importance of health, as a summary would have been. What was the best was, it's basically that the speech addressed the requirements of today's topic, which is about using the right word. So the vocabulary was quite good. So that's the best part of the speech.
Good evening, fellow speakers and Mr. Coach. I'm going to evaluate Nick Chindra's speech. What is good is obviously the story I was just talking about. It's a very good movie and everybody likes that movie. That is really good. And even in between the story, we were switching gears to behind the scenes. Some of the behind the scenes you talked about historically. It's not true. Some of the cases, settings you talked about. That is good. And you did talk about facts, some of the quotes, as well as some of the dialogues in it, right? About the gladiator becoming a conqueror, what did he conquer actually, right? Those aspects I felt it was really good. And suggestions were obviously everyone over here is trying out to stand here. I think we should try that next time. That is one. I've seen that you're really flowing with the words, some of the words. Probably, I felt with my case or some of them also, they did catch some of the words. You're probably a little faster over there when you were using a little rich vocabulary, that is one. And you were using a couple of, actually you have used few places that probably you can try and avoid, probably could come from very simple practice. Other than that, best part was obviously Gladiator movie, and everybody likes that. And closing, you did talk about his Gladiator's introduction. You did by heart rip that dialogue. That's the best part. I think overall it was a very good choice.
Good evening, fellow speakers. I'm Mr. Coach. I'll be evaluating Mr. Vinod. So, Mr. Vinod's topic was corruption. That was a basic topic in India and most desiring and burning issues in India. That was a good topic to be chosen up. And we just started with the opening of agriculture and a child in the hospital. That was a good part of it. And again, he just went to the basic things of the roadside eating, where he has just given a glimpse of what is tax payment and how exactly it is being leading to the corruption. That is a good part of it. And apart from that, he has just evaluated, brought in the Anna Hazara's campaign with his friend. He just went with his friend, and a couple of catchy sentence he put on corruption was, corruption is a oil runs a machine. That was an awesome part of it. And butter for the bread. That's a really good sentence on the corruption. And coming to the improvement areas, I couldn't see much because he was really relaxed. The flow of words was very smooth, but I could suggest to add some of the words, eye-catching words like he did. But I could, I still feel that he can still improve on the words, and he was little bit very slow, I believe, in certain cases. But that was really good part of it. And apart from that, he has concluded very easily saying that have a license and to avoid corruption, have a necessary document so that nobody can catch you and nobody can question you. That was a good part of it. And he has quoted two incidents of his friend. One is the MG Road scene where he told us to have a document, and apart from that, a morning bike ride with his friend. So yes, it was really overall pursuit of corruption. That's really good. Thank you.
So who is left now? Who has to be evaluated? You are doing.
Yours, who is evaluating?
I was initially evaluating your question. Later, once he came, then we decided to.
Atul doesn't have any evaluator, right?
Even no.
Dilip?
I was supposed to evaluate Vinod. Initially, Dilip was planned, but once Vinod came, then Vinod was planned. So I was evaluating.
No problem. So there is no evaluator for you.
Only he is there.
For you?
Dilip,
That's it.
For him only.
No, I-
is there.
I said
No,
No, I think they confuse between evaluatee and evaluator.
So
Maybe you can just say the.
who is left to be evaluated?
Dilip is there.
Dilip, madam is evaluating. Atul, I am evaluating.
Done.
Atul, you have done.
And yours?
No, but yes,
He's
I will look. If there is nobody, I am there. That's what I keep writing, no?
Okay, I have to.
You can.
And last also, and then speak up.
Okay, I will finish off. Okay, I have to evaluate Prashant's speech, right? Sun, sand and beach. Started off with a triad. Remember the triads? And the best part of triads is they reinforce whatever you want to say. And when you talk of sun, sand and beach, the first image that comes to anybody's mind, probably from this part of the country, is Goa. Unless you are a favorite of Kerala's beaches or Chennai. Therefore, the opening was very attractive to me. One of the good things about the opening was it created some interest on what he's talking about. He spoke about tiny Emerald Island, feasts, festivals, hospitable people, lot of culture, rich culture, and what the region is called, you mentioned, Konkan region. It was a narrative completely where I could actually see the entire flow. Early morning they got up, they got into some vehicle, they went to Anmol Ghat, and then they stopped, there was fog around. So I could actually see all that description. And throughout Some elements of colors were there. People were described action, what was happening, like the beach sports, parasailing, banana ride. I could picture as a banana. I don't know what that ride is, but I can see a banana in my mindset. Some of the suggestions is you can actually elaborate a little bit of this. When you say banana ride, what exactly is it? Or if you say scooter, you can ask the audience, have you ever been on a water scooter? Two people sit like this and there is a jet of water coming from behind. Lot of topsy-turvy movements. Sometimes people fall down. We wear life jackets. You can explain the entire scene so that people actually feel really on a scooter. That's the only suggestion. Otherwise, the closing statement was very good. Please visit Goa at least once. And I was just remembering when I went last and I was planning that I will go next year. A very good speech. All the best for your next speech. You can hand over the timing.
What's the evaluation time? 1 minute.
1.5 to 2 hours.
Good evening, coach and my dear friends, particularly Dilip. Some of the good points I observed. Your eye contact was good. You came out of the podium and spoke, and you were smiling throughout your speech. And coming to the speech itself, your opening was attention gathering. You opened your speech with a question. What would you do in March? And I was thinking of festivals, but you started with exams. And topic selection was good. And your words were clear and vivid. And I could understand there also. And when you are narrating the full scene, I was also tensed, and as if I was writing the exam. It was very clear, and some of the good words and vivid words you used: PlayStation, paper, pen, fear, anxiety, grips, sheets of paper, rooms, gates, mingle, punch, and triads: trembling, perspirating, and palpitating. One more triad you used: mind relaxed, body relaxed, and heart relaxed. Similes, raising pulse, and the room became silence like graveyard. And some more good words: deadly person, harsh. All these things you used. And I could understand only two. We have opening, body, and conclusion. In the body of the speech, you narrated outside the hall what was happening and inside the hall what was happening. And I didn't get the third what you are going to say. And one more thing, in the end, you gave message, but I couldn't understand. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. I could understand that much. But the next line you said very fast, I couldn't understand. Because the whole purpose is, when you speak 7 minutes, what's the purpose? What's the message I'm going to get with your speech? Some message I have to take from your speech. So that was not it. You gave the message, but I didn't understand. One more suggestion, and 8.27 seconds you took. So when you are competing with others, 7 minutes means 7.5 minutes you have to take. You took 1 minute extra. And what the best part I observed, your confidence. You are very confident on the stage throughout your speech. That was your best part. All the best for your next year.
Okay, how was the experience of evaluating? Last week we didn't have evaluating, right? So when you evaluated, what did you feel? Where were you focusing on? Were you focusing on the speaker the
Speech.
words
Yes.
on the speech, what he is saying, how he is saying it, what are the words. Some of the words that I actually could gather from here, apart from what the evaluators have already mentioned. Starting with Dilip's speech, sudden hush, soft sound of footsteps of the invigilator, totally silent, troubled, worried, anxious. That's again another triad. Troubled, worried, anxious. That really creates a picture of worry. If I were to say only once, it won't. When it comes like that, and then swift like a Maruti car, like a racing horse. Pens were going like a racing horse, wearing a long face. These are the descriptive words that actually create some images in the mind. Then Villaire's words. Signed, sealed, challan. The challan would have been sufficient, but when he says signed and sealed challan, the image of a proper seal, all that comes in the mind. That is the best part of that kind of description. Then butter on bread and oil on the machine, vendors not paying taxes, win-win situation. That is a new way to look at corruption, win-win situation. Then the triad again in the beginning, some say dash, some say dash, some say. So he repeated some say as a triad to highlight the point that he wants to make. Eating outside is corruption. What is that? That is almost a metaphor. Eating outside is a corruption. It's not corruption, right? But then he has pictured the whole thing, and after he finished his narration, you understand that eating outside really is a corruption. Is corruption because we are encouraging these things. Okay. Then coming to Atul's speech, Incredible India, Ganesha, 4 o'clock, then without food, water. Unfortunately, fortunately, playing with words. Unfortunately, as well as fortunately, we could shake hand with former CM, Mr. Reddy. Tall, dark area, lot of agarbattis, dhoop. How many of you could see the dhoop? Feel it. A dark area with lot of dhoop and agarbattis. Spectacular scenery, golden towers, Coorg, then dense forest on the hill. Kerala stands in 100 feet climb. These are the words. When delivering, subsequently we will also learn how to slow down using your voice. 100 feet only. That would be in vocal variety. But right now 100 feet itself describes. Okay, 100 feet. Somewhat height is there. Then reading, chanting, spiritual, all the monks. And coming to Hemchandra's, of course, green and beautiful promenade, fascinating drama, courage, resourcefulness, that string of words was pretty impressive words. Then of course, highly, hugely popular and widely acclaimed. These are pairs of words. Another form of, you can literally call them figures of speech, but they are just pairs. When you use two pairs, three pairs like that, the impact becomes even more. Hugely popular and widely acclaimed. Both actually mean the same, almost. But the impact is better. Gripping story, high class photography, outstanding dialogue. That is again a triad of describing that movie. Gripping story, high class photography, outstanding dialogue. Replete with memorable quotes. Replete is not a word that is used commonly. Normally we will say full of, or many were used. Replete. Catching words. Okay, these are the quotations. And coming to Praveen Kumar's speech. Eat this, don't eat this. Drink this, don't drink this. Those are the contrasts. When you repeat one after the other, one thing and then against, one thing and then opposite of that, the impact is much more. The message goes through very clearly. Do this, don't do this. Do this, don't do this. Repeatedly. A man without health is nothing. And then the playing around with words. When you are thirsty, it's your choice. You want to drink Coke, you want to drink water. You want to eat pizza, you want to eat a bowl of vegetables or fruits. That is what makes any speech more interesting. You can say anything that you want in very simple terms without using any of this. But the impact is more when we use all the figures of speech. Prashant's speech, I myself evaluated, so I can't add anything there. Goa is a great place. Agree? Okay, any questions on evaluations so far? Evaluations, speech delivery, because now we are going to the next level, which is the body language. We are going to the theory of body language. Before we go to that, questions about opening body conclusion, about similes, metaphors, alliterations, triads, any other words, descriptive words, the way you went about writing the speech, what were the challenges, any questions?
Why only triads? Why not 4 words, 2 words?
2 words I already said. 2 words repeated. What Hemchandra has used. Right? Similarly you can use. What happens is, when you use 4 words or more, you are going for overkill. Out of the term overkill? Doing it more than necessary. Audience can get confused if there are too many. And then finding 4 words which exactly mean generally the same is also going to be a task. Ideally 2 or 3 combinations of 2 triads. 3s. That is why they say when you shout for help, you shout 3 times. Help! When you shout once, if somebody is away, he will think he heard something. He may not be sure. The second time when you say help, he knows, yes, there is some sound definitely coming. Somebody shouting word. When you shout third time, help, he will come running. Because by that time he is 100% certain that somebody wants help. That is analogy for triads. Why you need to do 3 times. And in trainers terminology we call it as 3 T's of training. Tell them what you are going to tell them, and then tell them what you told them. 3 T's. As a public speaker you are going to do it. In the introduction, the opening, you are going to tell them what you are going to talk about. And then you will tell them 1, 2, 3 points. Finally you will summarize and say, I told you this. Like in this case he said, sun, sand and beach is Goa. He explained Goa and then finally he said, go to Goa at least once in your life. So that is the 3T formula, which is very, very effective. If you look at it, almost all of you did the same thing in one way or the other. But doing it by design, not by default. That is the intention. Alright, no questions? Shall we move ahead? Okay. Let's stop this.